to the Marketing Nomad Show, the fun pit stop for all things Instagram, where I also share my entrepreneurial journey, some of my lessons, wins, and challenges along the way, so it can inspire you to get started and grow on Instagram as well. Hi, Krishna. Welcome to the Marketing Nomad Show. I'm super excited to have you here. How are we feeling today?
It's like I'm excited because it's like my first time to be a guest on a podcast. So I'm very thrilled and excited for this. Thank you so much for having me here, Prit. It's a
No worries.
privilege.
Oh God, guys, today's episode is going to be super awesome. We're going to be talking about lead generation with Krishna. Now, Krishna is an expert with lead generation on LinkedIn and on Instagram too. So today we're going to kind of look at her journey so far as a solopreneur. We're also going to be talking about lead generation and how she does it with ease. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's really spicy hot episode. So, Krishna, tell us a little bit about who you are. We really want to get to know you.
Okay, so again, I'm Krishna. I am a Instagram and LinkedIn lead generation specialist. So I've been working as a lead generation specialist since 2017. I started as on Instagram basically, but eventually like I've explored LinkedIn. And basically how it started was when I was working as a human resource um, manager way back. I got pregnant, so I'm a single mom, by the way. And then I decided to um, shift my career into home based. So that's when I started my freelancing journey. But it wasn't really easy at the beginning because I really had this mindset that I needed to like really start by knowing everything about freelancing, like knowing all of the skills. So it wasn't really easy for me in the beginning. Like I needed to learn copywriting, I needed to learn Facebook ads, I needed to learn web development. So like I started like all over the place. So I really didn't expect that I will be landing as like lead generation specialist basically. So I was really lost as a freelancer before. And then I had this employee mindset. So I was like, very confused where to find clients. So I was like sticking with um, online job portals wherein I get clients from there. So basically, it was like employee employer kind of thing, but just online. So that's how I started. And then eventually, I worked with an Instagram agency. And that's when I started exploring more about Instagram. So basically, after I've worked there for like almost 2 years, I then work for a skincare brand. It's still about Instagram. So influencer marketing campaign specifically for Instagram. So currently, I've been also working as well with this skincare brand as an influencer marketing campaign. And at the same time, on the sideline for my freelancing business, I also work as lead generation specialists for coaches. So I do the management for Instagram page and do the lead generation in behalf of them. So basically, it's the I'm targeting service-based entrepreneurs, but more of coaches.
Got it. And I know your journey is so fascinating. Guys, I have spoken to Krishna, before this podcast episode. We were even accountability buddies with our coaching program and stuff like that. So, truly inspiring to hear her journey so far. But what inspired you to take this step? To be a lead generation specialist for coaches, even though you do have another job that you're working at, at the influencer marketing agency. But what inspired you to take up this side hustle? Or now it's becoming your mainstream of income, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, like I when I started freelancing, like I felt like I needed to like really start home based because I'm a single mom. It wasn't really like my passion. I was only forced to do it. But then eventually when I get to like explore all of those things like different kinds of skills, I became overwhelmed.
Mm.
I thought that I needed to learn Facebook ads. I heard a lot of freelancers who were excelling because they get a lot of clients because their skill is Facebook ads. So I was like, okay, I will learn Facebook ads as well. I will learn copywriting as well because I was like shining, shimmering with the winds of like my colleagues or my co-freelancers. So, but then during those times that I was exploring, I already work as an Instagram specialist for that particular client where I really explored things Instagram. So my mindset before, aside from the employee mindset, I thought Instagram lead generation was not a premium skill
Okay.
because like it wasn't like Facebook ads. I didn't hear someone who who were being praised because he's a face who is he or she is an Instagram specialist. I didn't hear that back then. It's more of like Facebook ad specialist, copywriter. So I
Yeah.
really underestimated lead generation on LinkedIn and on Instagram during those times. And eventually, so I tried Facebook ads. I joined the bandwagon because I thought I would also get clients. So I took a course, I invested for a course which ended up being wasted because I was like, when I learned those technical stuffs on Facebook ads, I couldn't really see myself working on
Right.
this skill for a long term. Like I was only forcing myself to do a specific skill just because I heard people like getting wins. And when I am already on that position of doing that specific skill, I couldn't really see myself working with that in a long term. And then I realized that why not Instagram? Why not just stick lead on lead generation? Because I actually enjoy doing it. But I had limiting beliefs before that it was not a premium skill. So back then, I I have kind of like hesitation, but I still took the leap of faith and tried to want to like really explore different areas of freelancing. So I resigned to that agency and I want to be on my own business, be have I mean having my own business. So like I started from like reaching out to random people because like okay, I already decided to be an Instagram specialist, so I will be just reaching out to random people. But the plot twist here is I couldn't get any traction at all because I just randomly reaching out to people. I do not have any specific market because I really did not have any idea that time. I thought that I could just reach out to anybody because Instagram is for everyone. So I could like reach out to whomever might benefit this service. So it took a while before I realized that I really need to pick one market and focus on that. So that time I get a lot of advices also from my co-freelancers, and they said you need to really pick one market and you really need to make sure that the market that you pick is you know s- like staying on Instagram perhaps or on LinkedIn, or you think that these certain people really they would find your service beneficial. So I started like brainstorming and then decided why not just focus on reaching out to psychologists because I graduated Bachelor of Science in Psychology. And so I started reaching out with psychologists and ended up reaching out as well to mindset coaches, wellness coaches, and life coaches, anyone who's working on mindset. I get traction because I am very specific now to whom I'm reaching out to. And because of that, because of like my passion, my interest with psychology, and because I reach out to people who have the same passion as me, the rapport is easy. it's not, like Instagram is all about Instagram and LinkedIn, it's all about, community engagement, building rapport, and networking. So that's how it started. Like I get traction. So eventually I got clients who are mindset coach, life coach. I also got fitness coach. And so that's the time that I got to decide to, okay, I will be sticking to coaches. So that's how everything started. So up until now, I'm very, very specific now with the coaches. Even if I work with skincare brands, because like I also have experience with as influencer marketing manager, but I could see myself like working in this field long term, because aside from engaging with people, which I love, it's also like my passion. Like I get to speak in behalf of them. I know a bit on how to, like, establish rapport with them, because they're also like they also applying psychology on their business, and I love psychology, human mind. So it's easier to like generate leads in behalf of my clients and in my business as well, because of those commonalities. So that's what really like, really started me in like exploring, and like it really helped me succeed on, not really like that super successful, but I'm getting traction because I'm specific with my niche right now. So yeah, that's it.
Now let's take a short break from our podcast episode and hear from our sponsors. This podcast episode is sponsored by the InstaSavvy Tribe, a paid monthly membership that gives you the technique, the game plan, and the mentorship to help you grow a quality following on Instagram, bring in those leads, and eventually make sales. TIST releases multiple topics every single month, ranging from planning your content strategy to creating a sales funnel using Instagram. This is so that you can fearlessly grow your business and gain that financial freedom you've been working so hard for. If you're interested to learn more, log on to www.themarketingnomad.co/TIST. If you're looking to accelerate your growth on Instagram with TIST, use coupon code podcast10 to get a 10% discount off the yearly plan for TIST. This is available exclusively for my podcast listeners. Now let's get back to our episode. I think you bring up such valid points, Krishna. Touch wood that you're gaining traction right now. I can definitely see your success, and I'm super, super proud of you. But just to, summarize what you just said, I truly believe that, when you niche down, you actually super specify who you want to attract. And that is so important in terms of, the messaging that you have with your marketing, or even just attracting the right people with the right energy. You said that you're looking for passionate people, people who, resonate with psychology, just like you do. And niching down, I feel like it just brings so much more joy to what you're working on. So absolutely, I feel like that's definitely a great takeaway for our audience right now, that, if you are thinking of joining the online world, niche down. I know it's
Yes.
very counterintuitive. I struggled with this, and I definitely had mind blocks against niching down for a very long time. But yes, absolutely. And I feel like now, after I've come to a point where, I have my own tribe and all of those things, I know that yes, I only want people who have gotten their niche figured out. They're passionate, they're driven solopreneurs. That's the target audience that I can work with. So yes,
Yes.
absolutely resonate with what you say and completely agree with it. And we were talking a little bit about mind blocks. I know that you mentioned it. Would you mind talking to us a little bit more about what were some of your mind blocks when you first started out, and how did you overcome them? Or maybe, even if you haven't overcome them, how did you decide to, as you say, take the leap despite those limiting beliefs and those mind blocks?
Imposter syndrome is really normal, especially when you are starting out. And especially like right now, everyone is on like digital, like venturing digital, especially with the COVID situation. So everyone is like exploring opportunities online. And it's really normal to feel, like have this fear that there's a lot in this space right now. It's so saturated, and you think that you cannot really um what do you call that, you cannot really get clients anymore because everyone is doing it. but
That's
but I a part of me like really wanted to work at home, and I really wanted to be out of that employee mindset and to establish a business. And eventually, even despite of this fear, I still took a leap of faith and grabbed the chance and still take an action. At least I didn't get any regrets that I didn't took an action, right? If it works, then it's then good. If not, then at least I still took the action. So I guess like what's really stopping us from like doing what we really want to do is the fear. The fear is always there, even if you really want to do and you're excited and you're going to start doing it, even if you're very excited, the fear is still there. Fear is anywhere, like even if you like it or not. But you need to just like overcome it. You need to like really crush that fear, because once you crush that, you get to discover a lot of things about yourself. So that's the good thing about like really overcoming your limiting beliefs. It's really hard. I know it's easier said than done, but when you really like take the action and trust that you can do it despite of all the circumstances that despite that it's beyond your control, but if you have your trust that I can do this, you will get to like you will get to explore a lot of potentials within you that you never know you have within you. So, yeah, I think that I had faith with myself. Like in the beginning, of course, like a lot of hesitation, like would this work for me? But when I get to learn more about this, that there's a lot of potential in this industry or in this niche rather. And when I took the action and saw that I get a lot of traction as long as I was consistently doing what I'm doing, it's very fulfilling. It's like, like it's all worth it in the end. So yeah.
for those of you who are listening to this and you want to check out the YouTube version of this podcast, it's going to be available, because you should absolutely see Krishna's face completely light up as she talks about what she loves doing so much. Honestly, guys, this is why we do what we do. The happiness, the fulfillment that comes out of this solopreneurship journey is unparalleled. So if you guys want to check out the YouTube video, all you have to do is hop on to www.themarketingnomad.co/podcast. And then you'll be able to find the episode, and you'll be able to check out Krishna's so happy face, completely glowing and so happy. And you guys really must check that out. So thank you so much for sharing such valuable thoughts on limiting beliefs, because truly I believe that we are always going to have so much fear trying to hold us back. And I feel like moving forward despite that is what is going to make the difference between someone who has taken a step forward and someone who is moving backwards. Actually, I don't think that not taking a step forward is being stagnant. I feel like that's taking a step backwards, because you're letting your fear and all of those things stop you from taking any steps. So yes, absolutely loved your thoughts on that. And now we're kind of getting into the nitty gritty of this episode, and that is lead generation. Now, in your experience, what are some of the fundamental mistakes that people make when it comes to lead generation, whether it's on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or any other social media platform for that matter?
I would have to say that when you do lead generation, you need to like really start with the basic foundation, which is giving value through your content, especially on Instagram, that it is a very visual platform. Unlike LinkedIn, Instagram is when you reach out to people and when you have like no content at all, and your prospect would be like, why is this person like reaching out to me? And then the profile is not optimized at all, there's no content at all. So you have to make sure that you need to give value through your content, optimize your profile, always be clear to what you're doing, whom you're targeting with, because it's really important. You have like seconds to um, communicate what you're doing. So that's one of the mistakes that I saw, that they really did not share any value. And also, um, the biggest mistake that I noticed is that when they do not establish rapport and they just jump straight away to like sales speech, it's a big turn off if you do that. So like um there's a lot of like business entrepreneurs right now who are giving templates, like it's very robotic if you're using specific templates when you reach out. So I would highly suggest to be as genuine as possible when you do um, building rapport, because right now digital entrepreneurs are very smart. Those templates works like years ago, perhaps 2014 or 2010, but right now digital entrepreneurs are very smart. They know already that you're like using specific templates and it's not like working right now. But instead, establish rapport genuinely by perhaps reacting on their posts, say something about their post, say something about what they're doing based on what you see on their profile. Because it's really important to have this rapport in place first before like doing the business thing. Because what I've noticed to some entrepreneurs, they are very very like rush with um, doing sales, and it's they never get to realize that it's a huge turnoff. Like they need to put their self in the shoes of the people that they reach out to. Like it's normal to like sell, but not in a way that it's super rush. Like the person you're talking to is a person, not a
Yeah.
lead. It's also a person. So you need to be as human as possible by establishing relationship at first. Do not rely on templates. And yeah, like those two things are like the most common mistake I see, which hopefully um, entrepreneurs would start practicing doing, like human human relationship, and not just like doing a aggressive kind of sales. So because it's very very it's a huge turn off to do that. So yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think there was a call that I did with my tribe on the 21st of November, 2020. It was just like 3 days ago. And one of my tribe members, she asked, well, can I just send, my lead magnet or, ask them for their sale the minute I send a welcome message? And like the welcome voice note, or thank you for following me thing. And I said, well, no, that's no, don't do that, because when you are rushing through and you're trying to sell them without even building that rapport, it's such a turn off. It is absolutely. It's like you thank them for following your page, and then they've kind of put their guard down because they're like, oh, that's so sweet, you're so awesome. Well, thank you for thanking me to follow you, I guess. And then suddenly you're like, well, here's my sales page, here's the product that I offer, please buy this. Obviously it's going to be such a turnoff. And I actually equated that to a relationship where suddenly you have someone who has probably faced so much of this weird thing of people selling to them and whatnot, and then they put their guard down, and then suddenly you kind of break their heart, and that's such a turn off. It leaves such a bad taste in their mouth. So I absolutely talked about this just about 3 days ago. If you are one of my tribe members who are listening to this, well, yeah, super glad that you guys are part of the tribe. I love you guys. So I just wanted to shout out my tribe members right now. But yeah, that's definitely some of the things that I hear often coming up, even amongst my tribe members, that, okay, well, can I sell to them now? And I feel like this is also something that I tell them, that you will get that feeling of when to sell, when you are comfortable enough, when you have had like 2 or 3 conversations or even more, you get that intuition that, okay, it's time. And
Yeah.
before that, if you sell, it's going to go haywire. So absolutely, completely agree with what you have been saying up until now, especially when it comes to the mistakes that even I have seen when I follow someone and then immediately they sell and I'm like, no, okay, but I actually go back and unfollow them because I feel like that's exactly how their personality is, and they're always going to keep selling to me. So definitely agree with what you're saying. So we were talking a little bit about building the report, and what are some of the ways that you have experienced to be one of the best methods to build rapport with your followers, with the new followers, or even your existing followers, so that you can convert them to a sale later on?
For me, I always nurture them by reacting on their posts, comment on their posts, and consistently doing that. Because when I do that, they would also do that to me.
Yeah.
Like it's always give and take.
Yes.
And then one of the things also that work for me is when I shared a valuable post on Instagram story, and then when I use the poll and someone would answer, I would get to like DM the person like, why is it that you're answering this? Why are you answering yes or no? Something like that. Just to um it's a good way, like it's like
Yeah.
they're the one who's starting to engage, so it's up to you, so it's just you to like respond, and I noticed that you've answered the poll or question, something like that. But um there will come a time that when the connection is already there, when like we're keep on doing liking and comment on our post respectively in the couple of days or weeks, and then I have an offer with them. That's the time that like I get to like message them and hey, how are you, just the same thing, like just catching up with them. And then when once the relationship is there, and I agree with you, like my intuition is telling me that it's the right time to like pitch the offer, then that's the time that I would invite. It's also the same thing when I do lead generation for my client. Mostly it's like driving them to a Facebook group, or like invite them for a discovery call. It's the same thing. So it always starts with like warming them up first by liking, commenting, reacting on their post for a couple of days. And if they do the same thing for you, then you would like get to like, oh, this person is like engaging on my content as well. So perhaps this would be like a perfect time to finally reach out to this person. So yeah, that's like what really works for me so far. But I think it's like still the best thing because it's like the rapport is there. It's not trying so hard to like.
And I feel like this way you can actually attract people who are attracted to your personality as well. Because you're commenting, you're definitely showcasing your personality. And of course, if it resonates with them, they are responding back. And I feel like that's just such a really nice way to find clients whose energy matches with you. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things for a coach, or even, for a working relationship. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that, Brit. And also, it's not just on Instagram, it's on LinkedIn as well. Especially that, uh, well, on LinkedIn, it's very different there because corporate, very, very formal. And
Yeah.
they are much more bombarded with like sales
Actually.
pitch. So it's really really important to like, establish that by engaging with their contents. So I had like this one client. Actually, I have yet to see if I'm going to close this client, but I he she's the one who reached out to me because she noticed that I keep on um engaging on her content. I didn't like, send her message, but I'm just doing cheerleading. And guys, cheerleading is still the best way to attract potential client. That's why you need to optimize your profile first for them to know what you're doing. Optimize your profile first, and then do cheerleading. So like you attend their live, or always post always comment on their post. So when I did that with this particular client, I did cheerleading. I keep on commenting on their post. She then reached out to me, and then she's like, "Oh, you're doing Instagram lead generation." And so what happened is she asked me if I'm available for a call. So she's the one who asked me because she's interested in my service. So I already submitted a proposal, and then I have yet to know if she would be okay with that or not. But the fact but my point here is that always, you know like, um do not just directly message that person because
Yeah.
it's rude.
I
Like,
think
I really cannot emphasize that more. Like,
it is absolutely. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I see. It's the biggest turnoff that I see. And so I recently started my own company, right? So now I'm the CEO, and I changed my LinkedIn profile to CEO. And oh my God, the amount
yes.
of sales pitches that I get on a daily basis is unbelievable. Like, even when they are sending me a request to connect, it's a sales pitch, and I'm like, no, you don't do that. That's, I'm clearly going to run away from you. you know so absolutely, it absolutely resonates with me when you say that, you have to build that rapport first, you have to build that friendship first, and then it has to either come from them naturally, or you realize, well, I can help them. It comes from a place of helping them rather than selling to them. I feel like
And,
that's the best transition.
and I also would like to add thing. So for lead generation, it's really important to give value, not just with the content, but also when you have this ideal client in mind and you notice that some of their assets are not really that optimized. For example, um, I have this particular ideal client that I really want to work with, and then I notice that his or her profile is not optimized on Instagram or not updated, and he or she is very well known in the industry, but the Instagram account isn't really optimized. So what I do, I reach out and hello, Prit. I notice I am Krishna, and I'm an avid follower of yours. So I noticed that your Instagram account isn't really optimized. Would you be interested for a free audit? Emphasis with free because you're giving value. You're
Yeah,
not expecting something in return. They would get to appreciate that because you're giving value to them.
yeah,
Again, on if you are going to offer free audit, do not do a sales pitch or whatnot, except when they would ask more about your service. What are you do? What's your service is all about? I'm curious. What are you doing? So, if you get to give value, they would be eventually curious what you're doing.
yeah,
So you can also do that. You can reach out to them once you spot things that your service can be of benefit with them, and give them value. Perhaps, like, aside from audit, you can also give them a lead magnet, like case study that
yeah,
works for you, that might work for them. And always emphasis with the um what you call that, the things that needs to be improved with what you saw on their, on their page, perhaps, or anything that you see that needs to be improved,
yes,
and you will give them a solution. because the solution doesn't always need that it should be paid. You can give them free advice and they will appreciate you for giving value. So that's
Absolutely. I
also
feel
like
like
my other
people,
tip.
yes, absolutely. I feel like people hesitate giving value because they feel like, well, if I'm giving them so much value with my free content, then why would they pay for my services? And I think you bring up a very, very important point, Krishna, and that is because you give so much free value, they will be more interested for your paid value. It's actually counterintuitive. And I think that you brought up a very, very important point. I feel like you brought up a lot of important points all through this episode, guys. There's so much stuff. Honestly, I hope you guys are taking notes because this is lead generation bombs that are dropping right over here. Now, Krishna, I know we've talked a lot about lead generation and mind blocks and all of those stuff, but if you have three quick actionable tips for my audience right now, what would it be?
Always start with clarity.
Good.
First would be clarity.
Hmm.
Clarity with what you're offering with, clarity of whom you want to target with, because it's really hard to start when you have no clarity with what you're offering and whom you want to target with. So always have that in place first, and then when you have this clarity on set, then you need to engage. So engage in with a um, couple of giving content as well. So clarity, engage to people, again, no sales pitch, and lastly, always show your unique personality, because again, that's what really makes you stand out among others. Yes, you may have a lot of competitors right now, that's true. Like, there's a lot of online entrepreneurs right now, especially on Instagram, on LinkedIn. There's a lot of people doing lead generation for this platform, but what really stands you out among these competitors is your own personality. That's why when you do your content, always show your personal side, because there would always be that certain people who would resonate and find you charming. So yeah, like, all, do not always focus on the business side of for your content. Always show your personal side as well, because that's what makes you stand out among others. So there, and again, when you think, when you feel discouraged that you have a lot of competitors, you can still stand out with someone, as long as you are, genuine, showing up your personality, your goofy side, or perhaps your jolly side. So like, someone would like really get to resonate with you. For example, I had one instance when I shared that I'm a single mom on LinkedIn, and I'm surprised because, like, I get direct message from a coach. I'm also a single mom like you.
Oh,
And what happened after that? We got a call, and we the network is there. And then, even if I didn't closed sale from this person, but the fact that she reached out to me because she's also a single mom, and the effort that she really, like, reached out to me, it's like, oh, thank you for reaching out to me, because like, she resonated with me. But there's a lot of instances really that when I've shared a lot of, like, my real side, shared my story, how I started, just being genuine with myself, and sharing my stories to everyone. I'm surprised that there are people who resonated with me. So it's really important to showcase that to your followers, or to your connection, your personal side of yours, because that's what makes you stand out among your competitors.
absolutely. I definitely agree with that. I feel like 95% of your client's decision to choose you is heavily dependent on that energy that you have, the personality that you have. So don't always try to hide it, because even if your competition offers the same thing as what you offer, the exact same thing, guys, I'm not even saying that you are offering better or they're offering better, there's a very, very high chance that your client will choose you for your personality, because there is something about you that resonates with your target audience. So yeah, absolutely, definitely resonate with that. I feel like there's a lot of fear with showing who we truly are, talking about our struggles, talking about our failures, because I think the internet, I mean, at least the pressure on the internet is that we need to show that we've got it all together. And it's not that way. It's absolutely not that way. And I agree with you. Every time I've talked about my struggles, every time I've spoken something that is not right in my life, I feel like I've gotten a lot more messages about people, who say, well, Prit, that resonates with me. I'm glad there's somebody out there who's talking about these things. And there it is. That's friendship just built. These are
Yes.
people that I've never met. And we still talk about these things and stuff like that. So absolutely. I definitely agree with all of your tips. This was such a fantastic episode, Krishna. I absolutely enjoyed talking to you. Now, if our audience, wants to look for you for lead generation, how do they find you? Can you give us maybe a link, or, of course, I'm going to put it in the show notes, but feel free to take it away from here, Krishna.
Okay, so if you are looking for someone to do lead generation in behalf of you, I offer Instagram and LinkedIn lead generation for your service. And at the same time, I also do one-on-one coaching. Although I haven't really launched yet, but I am currently still taking clients who are really willing to learn lead generation. I also do one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested, you can connect me on Krish Mosot on Instagram, or you can search me on LinkedIn, Krishna Mosot. So just like either way, I'm active. So just feel free to connect with me if you're interested.
I think it was a little bit of a glitch over there, but for those of you who didn't hear, it's Krish Mosot on Instagram and Krishna Mosot on LinkedIn. I'm gonna put both the links in the description box below, so you guys don't have to worry about that. If you are interested, to have your lead generation done for you, or you would like lead generation coaching, well, Krishna's your girl, guys. Don't hesitate to reach out to her, and I'm gonna put all of her details in the show notes below. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We have learned so much from you today, and I can't wait for this to go live. It's gonna go live very soon, guys. So yes. Any last
Thank you for
words?
it. Any last words? Uh, do not let your fear stop you from taking action. Always take action.
Yes.
It will be it will come into fruition someday if you're consistently do taking an action.
Oh, what wonderful thoughts. So beautiful, guys. Take action. And that's a wrap from the Marketing Nomad Show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you with my next episode. And for now, we will talk soon. Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.